This is Ann with AboutFreelanceWriting.com again with another question from one of our readers. Hi Ann, someplace I think you talked about how to convince employers that you can do better work at home. Could you tell me exactly how to do that? I've tried, but with very little luck. Thanks so much, Barbara. Barbara, did I really say that? I probably did. Over time, I've convinced more than one employer that they probably ought to let me go home and do my work instead of stay in the office and play politics. There really are three kinds of employers in the world, in my experience in this, when we're talking about telecommuting and freelancing. The first are those people who know that you can do good work at home, who are happy to let you, who recognize that if you're working at home, you're not on their premises, that they don't have to pay all the benefits. There can be cost savings, even if you're a little pricier than they might expect. These are the kind of clients we want. Then there are the crudmudgeons who are control freaks. They wouldn't let you work at home. Even if you could show them, you could save them $1 million. Well, maybe for $1 million, but you know what I mean. They want to watch your fingers on the keyboard, and they think if they can't see you, you're not working. They're afraid you're getting away with something. No point in even bothering with this kind of client. They're not going to budge. It's all those people in the middle who have never hired a freelancer, who are not quite sure how to do it, who don't know how to define a job, who just, it might sound like a great idea, but they're unsure. Those are the people that if you can find them and talk with them, you can reassure them. The problem is when you're answering online ads, it's hard to get that dialogue started. I will sometimes send an email that says, hi, here's why I'm thoroughly qualified to do your job. I have a fully equipped home office. I have excellent references. I'd like to talk, and I can meet your deadlines, and I'd like to talk to you about this. Once in a great while, that approach works, not too often. I'm more likely to find somebody locally who actually can look me in the eye and say, oh, maybe this person could work at home, and train them to be a good employer of a freelance writer who really wants to work in her pajamas or less. So you may decide you don't want to even try to convince these people. That's perfectly all right. Gradually, more and more employers are discovering that freelancers who work at home do an excellent job, and it can be a bother to try to train them. But if you want, when you run into something, it can be worth the effort. No magic answer. Just remember that when you're looking at one freelance ad, there are lots and lots more jobs out there for freelancers. That's why we post jobs on AboutFreelanceWriting.com 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And by the way, if you want to ask a question, you certainly can do so. Just email me at ann@AboutFreelanceWriting.com. Put Q&A in the subject line or you'll get lost to spam. And there's a whole category of question and answers in text that you can review. Thanks so much.